guys, welcome back to the channel. Behind me is my 2005 Volkswagen Transporter that I just won from Copart for £500. Sold as a non-runner. It's got a lot of bits missing. It looks like someone's tried to get it ready for paint or something. Sold as a non-runner, just put a battery on it and it fired straight up. So I'll show you around it. Alright, so it looks like someone's tried to treat loads of rust or something, and there's loads of body filler in places. It's like someone started trying to get it ready for paint or something. This side is actually pretty decent, apart from there's a wing missing, which I think is in the back. I haven't actually had a look yet, literally just picked it up. Wing's missing here. For some reason the bonnet's black, probably been replaced. This side's pretty rough. It's had, I think it maybe had a crash or something. It's got, this door is not good. This is full of body filler. Bits missing over here. This wheel is seized up. The wheel, I mean the brake seized on this side. So we've got to delve into that. There's no handbrake cables on it. So the handbrake's loose. It looks like someone's project that they've sort of given up halfway through. I'm not sure why. I think it looks like they started work sort of in this area, because that looks like it's got a sort of new wheel, new caliper, and the rest of it's pretty rubbish. But yeah, if anyone knows why they don't shut, would love to know. This bit's just not clipping in. I don't really know why, but anyway, it's all full of bits. What's this? Some gin? What's in there? Door clips. Oh, there's the light from the back door. I need that. Some builder's pencils. Yeah, I haven't had a look at the seats yet. This is an actual Volkswagen seat cover, so maybe that came with it, and the seats might be nice under there. Who knows? Let's see what we got in here. Oh, it's a new set of brake pads. That's worrying. Oh, that looks like the paperwork actually. Might be quite good. Oh, a bit of trim. I think that goes over here. That's missing. Don't know what that is. It's an idler for something. That's worrying. That must be the indicator for that side. Or are they? Yeah. It's one of those for the other side. Good. All the parts seem to be turning up. Let's see what we got in here. That MOT expired 2019 with 217,000 miles on it, so can't be the latest one. I'll have to look it up on the internet, see what the latest MOT is. I'm pretty sure it probably hasn't got one. An aftermarket radio, Bluetooth though, and some aftermarket phone charger thing. Yeah, there's a cover on that seat too by the looks of things. I imagine that one's worn out, having 230,000 miles on it. Yeah, driver's side. To be fair, that seat looks like it might actually be okay. I might have actually got away with that. I'd be surprised. Anyway, so put the key in. It beeps like its head off at me. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that means. I have no idea. But seems to run okay. Need to have a check on the plug it in and see what all these lights are. Got ABS. I don't know what that one is, the other one, and the flashing one. That sounds serious. There's no power steering at all, which isn't great. I think the alternator's working. 14 volts. I don't want any switches to. It's got loads of aftermarket switches in them. I did flick them all on, but nothing happened. Anyway, turn it off. Sounds like it might have an exhaust leak a little bit. I need to check the exhaust actually. See what's going on in here. These doors are so stiff. Alright, these are all of the inner wheel arch liners. I don't know why it hasn't got any of those on there. Why would someone remove all of those? I guess they're going to paint it. I assume this is the wing. I'll have a look. This is mine, the pump, and the toolkit over there is mine. I replaced the battery just to get it to fire up. For some reason it wouldn't start on the battery booster, which is a bit weird. There's an exhaust. I'm hoping there's another one on it. Anyway, see what we've got going on here. This is my toolkit. I just got the toolkit out to turn the engine over by hand before attempting to start it, because it was sold as a non-runner. Cam belt cover was off, which did worry me. Made me think that maybe the cam belt had snapped or timing related, but turned it over by hand. It seemed to turn over fine. Anyway, get this out of here. This looks like the panel that's missing from the side here, which is good. Air filter. That looks like an old one, so I hope there's a new one in it. Got these two original wheels, which is good because I can replace those ones that are on it. Now there's a caliper there. That looks like a rear caliper to me. Yeah, it's got the handbrake system on it. I don't know whether that's the old one or that's a new one, but the exhaust worries me. But anyway, yes, I don't know what's going on with here. What is all this? That's horrible. Let's see what we got in here. I'm hoping it's a wing. It's a box. I thought Copart would have nicked that. Nice. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is someone's taken the wires out of this door. Don't know why, but I'm going to put them back because I can't actually shut the door at the moment because the wire's in the way. I'm going to see what's going on with this wheel because this is seized, and I'm going to replace it with one of the wheels over there. It's in the back. But yeah, I'm going to see what's going on with the brake caliper in there. Alright, so I put the original wheel back on there because I'm not sure if that is actually seized or if the handbrake cable's just being applied a little bit because it's been detached from the other side. So I'm going to whip the wheel off the other side, see what's going on with the handbrake cable and the ABS sensors and all of that. All of that's been dismantled for some reason. Let's go check out the other side. I was wondering what was going on and why there was a caliper in the back. That'll be why. I mean, these springs look fairly new. Someone's done some work to this car. Some odd bits have been looked after and some bits haven't. I think it was in the middle of a major overhaul and someone just gave up. I'm going to dig the caliper out of the back of the car and see what that looks like. Here's the caliper that's in the bag, and it looks absolutely fine. Well, it's just wet because I've had it out. But yeah, the seal looks good still. If it could be wound back in, I think it's going to be fine. Or maybe they took it all apart to change that spring or something, because that spring looks new. But I don't know why you take all of this off, but yeah, let's try and see if we can fit this back on. I think I've got the tool to wind that back in. My one isn't big enough. Yeah, this one's too small. That's the only one I've got. See if I can find another way to do it. Can't find anything. This is the best thing I can find. It works for a bit, but unfortunately when it goes right in and the rubber starts to creep up, you can snag the rubber. I think I'm getting as far as I can go with these. That should be more than enough to get the disc in. Right, so I've got the exhaust on. See if you can see it. Yeah, the ends are a bit crispy, but it's on there. It's okay. It fits all right. It needs a new one further down the line, but we need to test to see if the thing actually works before I go spending any money like that on it. Exhaust is on. Now, what I need to do is I need to get under the front of it and remove the power steering lines and see how bad they are, because as soon as I put fluid in it, it comes straight out the bottom. So see if I can get them off and hopefully order some new ones. Alright, I know where it's leaking on the power steering lines, so I'm going to start it up and then put a bit of power steering fluid in and see exactly where it's leaking. Flat battery. Hold it right there. Okay, there you go. I've replaced the power steering line that was in here that was leaking. I tried my hardest to makeshift my own power steering line out of the old one that broke. I just couldn't do it. I think this was my last iteration of the line. I wanted to be hard line the whole way, but I just couldn't do it. Every time I put a bit of rubber in it, it blew up. They must be under some serious high pressure. That's a bit of a serious bodge from me there. But yeah, I bought an original one. It was about 120 quid, quite expensive. That's why I was trying to avoid it, but that's in there. Power steering seems to be working perfectly, but we can't really go anywhere until I get that door shut. We'll get this wing on, button up some of the bumper pieces that are hanging off, a bit of trim over there, and then hopefully we can take this thing for an MOT so we can get it roadworthy. But yeah, until then I've got to get that door shut over there. Started taking the panel off, but yeah, it just bounces straight back. It seems like this here, I've greased it up and pushed it back, but it doesn't seem to catch, so I think there might be something wrong with it. I'm going to take the door panel off, see if I can get a better look in there. But yeah, can't really go anywhere until that shuts. Alright, so it got dark yesterday and my camera ran out of battery, but yeah, I saw me take all this off. Had to basically took the whole lock out. There's you've got to take the whole front of this off as well, this bit. Mine was really seized in there, I don't know why, but managed to get it off, get the lock out, and I soaked it in WD-40 for about, I don't know, about an hour, and then it sort of seemed to come back to life. It could probably do with a new one because it doesn't shut every time, but it works now. See, that's shut. But if you do it gently, sometimes it still doesn't shut properly, but that's good enough. Seems to be shutting all right. This one needs a bit of oil on it because it seems to get stuck about there. But that one shuts. You need to get the trim piece on there and the wing on, and then this thing is pretty much like ready to actually take for a test drive. Alright, so I'm in the Volkswagen. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. It's absolutely freezing today. Gonna take it for its first drive. Fingers crossed everything's okay. Just gonna go up the road and back. Just to see if everything's alright. Should be fine, but here we go. Something. So here we go. Brakes feel okay. a bit of smoke coming out the back. Lots of smoke coming out the back now. Something doesn't feel quite right. A bit hard to tell. Need to go on a long drive, blast it down the road really. Can't do that till it's road legal, unfortunately. It's weird, there are noises coming from all over it and I can't quite tell what they are. They're not noises I've really heard before. And they're not really coming from anywhere specific. I mean, it would help if I didn't have everything in the back as well. I don't know. I don't think there's any gearbox noise. Alright, so I just took the van for MOT, back now. For anyone watching who's not in the UK, an MOT in the UK is just a roadworthiness test. Basically, everyone has to have one of these. They last a year, and it assesses how road legal your car is, and they're quite thorough, to be honest. But yes, so we got back, and I failed on quite a few things. I've got a few sheets of paper here, all of those, a lot of stuff. Main things are there's a broken spring on the back. He wasn't very happy with my brake modification. Well, I'll sort that. I'll put it back to original if I can. What else have we got on here? We got anti-roll bar linkage, ball joint excessively worn. I've got some new linkages. So there's a drive shaft boot that's not seated properly. Maybe we'll change that or try and put it back on the way it should be. Twisted brake hose, that'll be pretty simple I think. Maybe the caliper's just on wrong. That's about it really, the major stuff. There's quite a few little bits. Brake discs are all pitted and worn. I think it's just because it hasn't been driven for a while. They'll clear up. We'll get to that. I think the first thing we're going to do, probably around the back end, try and change this spring around the back end, because I hate changing springs, but on this car it looks like they might be quite straightforward, so let's get to that. Okay, so here's the spring. I think it's broken right up the top there. This is the brake line that's twisted. Although it's not that bad, but we'll see if we can untwist that. I think that's broken right at the top there. I think first thing to do is remove these anti-roll bar mounts. Then remove the bottom of the shock absorber. And then I think this whole thing will just come down and we can pull the spring out and put a new one in. Hopefully. Alright, spring just basically fell out of there. There's the spring. There's the top of the spring. So let's get a new one in there. So I just got back from retesting this car. It's officially road legal now. Everything's been ticked off that was on the major needing repaired side of things. I have found another issue with it, and I think I'm going to try and fix that in the next video. Basically, the diesel is getting into the oil, and the diesel is retracting into the tank if I leave it overnight, and it's really hard to start if you park it on like an uphill. It's impossible to start. I mean, you have to turn it over and over and over and over until the diesel gets all the way through. And I checked the oil, and the oil level seems to be rising, which means the diesel is getting into the engine. I haven't really spoken to anyone to figure out what this is, but from looking it up, it's either like injector seals, or there's a big pump on the side of this. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a name on it. Like a diesel pump that's run by the camshaft. Hang on, I'll show you what it is. I've got one right here. Here are the seats, by the way. I took the covers off of those. They're actually in pretty good nick. They need a good clean. The whole interior needs a thorough clean. I mean, absolutely filthy in all of there. Really is disgusting. But yeah, so this is the thing that I've bought, which will be fitting in the next video. is this big pump thing that's driven by the camshaft. It's oil fed by the camshaft as well. So, and I think there's a seal in here, basically in this rotating bit that can go. It's just an O-ring, I think, but it's such a complicated part that I don't really want to take it apart. I've got this. This is an original Peerberg part, so it should fit. I've also got, whilst I'm in there, I've bought a new set of injector seals and bolts. I've got to look all this up. I've got how to do this, but I can't be too hard. I know they're also driven by the camshaft on cam lobes. If anyone has done this before on a transporter and knows how difficult this is, if anyone's done this, please let me know any tips and tricks, or if it's a really hard job and I shouldn't be doing it, please let me know. So that's probably going to be it for this video. We've taken a £500 van that's basically scrap and got it back on the road. Technically it needs a bit of work, but I'm going to get it on the road and I'm going to try and use it, because I have got another car which will be the next video, which is well, you'll see. It's which I was going to use to tow things around, and it's just something not quite right about it. I can't put my finger on it. It's a really nice car, but it's not here at the moment. It's actually getting a MOT. It's something not quite right about it. You'll see that in the next video. But yeah, this is back on the road. We're going to be using it. I've got the paint in there too to paint the other side. And yes, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please let me know if you're liking these videos. I'll see you in the next one.